Hi YouTube. I'm back. I told you guys I was going to do another video, so I am. This video is going to be about a few questions I got and about how teen pregnancy has affected my life personally. Um, I'm going to do the questions first and get those out of the way. I'm not really going to take so much time on this, and I'll try and summarize as much as I can. First question is, have you ever seen the show Teen Mom? If so, do you believe it glamorizes teen pregnancy? I don't really watch Teen Mom, which a lot of people think is funny because I am a teen mom, but I don't need to watch other teen mothers on TV because number one, I watch teen mothers on YouTube, and number two, I don't need to know what it's like to be a teen mom because I am one. So yeah, I don't really watch it. Anyway, if so, do you believe it glamorizes teen pregnancy? From the few episodes I have seen, they were really good. I don't see a problem with the show. But then again, like I said, I don't really watch it, so I haven't really seen everybody in their whole situation. But from what I have seen of it, I don't think it glamorizes teen pregnancy at all. It shows the girls, the girl that gave her baby up for adoption. It shows the girl that's no longer with her boyfriend. It shows like the realities and situations that really do happen. It's not like some fake. I don't know if it's 100% real or not. But it's those are things that really happen, and those are everyday things. Those aren't just like, oh, hey, here's a script and act like this is something that happens when you get pregnant when you're a teenager. No, that stuff really does happen, and it's not glamorous. Being a single teen parent is nothing that's glamorous. It's not cute or funny in any way, and I don't think that that's what they're trying to do. I mean, they may, in some aspects, not show you everything and the real hardships because, that might be a little too personal or whatever. I'm not the producer, but I have definitely seen some episodes where they really do show the some of the tough aspects of being a teen parent or being a parent, period. Because I don't care how old you are, it is hard. So, yeah. Anyway, do you think that media has an effect on teen pregnancy? And if so, do you believe it has a negative or positive effect? I do believe media does have an effect on teen pregnancy in some way. Um, I don't believe, I'm not one of those people that sit there on just sit around and say, oh, well, you're not allowed to watch this because, it makes you, like, I don't believe that violent video games make kids kill people. If your violent video games made your child kills, if your child played violent video games and ended up killing somebody, your child had problems long before he started playing those video games. So, don't blame the video games. You can't blame a media aspect for a child's bad decision. Just like you can't blame, oh, well, my daughter got pregnant because she listened to this rapper talk about sex. No, she didn't. She got pregnant because she slept with her boyfriend. So I do think that the media glamorizes sex. They don't direct it towards teenagers, which is the trick. And people will try to say, "Oh, well, they show these girls and kids are watching it." But it's true. But all those people in the videos are consenting adults. They're grown people who are dancing half naked in videos, who are talking about sex. And if you notice, the rappers aren't up there saying 14, 15, 16, and even 17-year-old girls, hey, come have sex with me, hey, talking about girls. They're not talking about girls that age. The women they're talking about are like 20s, 19, maybe young 19, 18, maybe. They're talking about girls in their mid 20s, maybe early 30s, the young, pretty women. All the women in those music videos are not 17 years old, so they're not sitting here influencing children to do those things. Their production reaches out, they know it hits a young audience, but that's not who they're talking about. You don't see Bow Wow get up on stage and talk about the 17-year-old girl. He's talking about the 25-year-old. So you can't say that, media makes your children go crazy, because it doesn't. But, if you do catch yourself watching it, you're like, oh, that's so cool or whatever, and you think it's like, you think the glam is nice and you think it's cool. And like my mom has even told me, sex is broadcasted. Our generation, because my mom is older, she's an older mom, she's 59, she was 42 when she had me. So her generation and my generation are a lot different, in certain ways. She grew up, girls didn't talk, like her grandmother, her and her mother, they never talked about sex, they never talked about periods, they never talked about anything like that. That was not a discussion, because it was not appropriate. And she didn't talk about, sex with her friends. She didn't talk about any of that stuff with her friends. And, back then, if you got pregnant at our age, you got sent away to your grandparents' house, like somewhere in Texas, and then you returned after you had the baby. You didn't just walk around pregnant, because it was unacceptable for a young girl to be. It was shameful to the family. So, it's a lot different, and it wasn't broadcasted, and people didn't talk about it openly like that, and it wasn't on TV, it wasn't on the radio, it wasn't anywhere. So it's not broadcasted. Nowadays, you can find sex on the internet, you can find any sexual thing you really want anywhere at any age. If you're old enough to type in the words, you're old enough to see it, and it's just that easy. So it does, give us more knowledge. And the more knowledge you have, the more grown you tend to think you are. You think just because you know about it that you're old enough to do it, and that's not true. And that's part of the problem today, is because we know more than we're emotionally ready for. Just like we know, about relationships, and we know about sex, and we know about um, parenting, we know about all this stuff. So we do the things that can lead to pregnancy. Like, we have sex, um, some kids do drugs, we do all of this stuff, and it's because we think we're emotionally ready for it. We think it's fun, we think it's cool, whatever the reason is. We think we're in love, and really you're not. Because I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're probably not going to end up with the guy you're dating right now. And if you are, that's fabulous. I can't say in stone that I'm going to marry Tyler. I hope I do. We have a child together, and I love him. And we've been together for a long time, but nothing is certain at this age. So that's why it's really hard to try and make your life so concrete when, you're still so young and so much can happen. So, I do I don't know. It's really, certain things about the media do affect it in negative and positive ways, because not only do they talk about negative things, they do talk about positive things, about being abstinent. But the biggest part is you don't see abstinence spread over um, products, because that's not what's going to attract teenagers. What attracts teenage boys is half naked women on TV, and what attracts teenage girls is a sexy guy on TV singing, dancing, rapping, whatever. That's what attracts young female girls. It's not a young sexy guy with abstinence thrown around his shoulder, because that's not what we're interested in. We're not interested in seeing some old lady come on TV and say, "Well, kids, that's not what we want to watch. We want to watch the MTV Music Awards, and we want to watch the BET Awards. We want to watch all that." So, it's you kind of have to really um, pick and choose what you focused on, and you have to make your own decisions, and you have to know what's right. But no one can make that decision for you, especially not a music video or an ad on TV. No one can do that for you. You make your own decisions, and you're responsible for your decisions. Um, As a parent, would you let your teen watch 16 and Pregnant and or Teen Mom? Yes, I would. Then again, being a teen mother, they will know, my son will know about my problems and, my struggles, and he'll also know about my benefits. But yes, I'm not one to say, oh no, you can't watch that. I normally, I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to let my 3-year-old watch a slasher movie, but I'm not. I've never seen the point in keeping your kids from things like that. I want my child to experience a little bit of everything. Now I know where the limit is. Like, I'm not talking about drugs or alcohol or anything crazy like that. But as in like people, like certain movies or certain holidays. I'm not that kind of person. I want my child to experience everything in life and decide what they want for them. I'm not going to take away anything from them that they could possibly enjoy, or that they think is valuable that I don't. Like, my parents don't like the kind of music I listen to. They're not going to sit here and tell me, oh, well, I don't like it, so you can't listen to it, because I do like it. I appreciate it. I take value in it, and that's, to them, that's not right for them to take that away from me. Unless if it's affecting me in an extremely negative way, and they can tell if it's hurting me or going to get me into trouble, then that's a whole nother situation. But I'm not one to take away from my children. And so, yes, of course, they could watch that show. Why do you think teenage pregnancy is looked down upon, and do you think that it should be looked at in this way? I think teenage pregnancy is looked down upon because, number one, it's a child having a child. And it's very hard. You look at a person that has no college education, no job, no home, by themselves. They don't have any of these things, and then on top of that, they're bringing a whole other person who needs all of those things, who needs to grow and who needs to develop into a person. And that's a humongous responsibility for someone who doesn't have anything. What do you give to them? That to them, they don't see, like, they're wondering how you're going to do it. It can be done. It has been done, and it has been done successfully plenty of times. A lot of the people that criticize teen pregnancy is because they don't see the successful teen parents, and it's not easy, and it's not simple, and it's not as great as being 25 and pregnant, but it is possible if you do what you're supposed to do as a parent and as a teenager. If you take care of your responsibilities, you go to school, you get your diplomas, you get your degrees, you work, you take care of your responsibility, take care of your child. As long as your child has everything it needs and most of everything it wants, if not everything it wants, and you're doing what you're supposed to do, no one can talk about you. And that's what I'm doing. No one can say anything about me. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I go to school, I'm making good grades. My son has everything. He's already spoiled, everything, and I have no complaints. So no one can really look down upon my situation. Now, the people that do make teen mothers look bad are the people that don't take care of their responsibilities. They don't do what they're supposed to do, and that's the people, and those are the parents, the teen parents that people focus on, because they look at that and they say, oh, well, they're all like that, and it's not true. Because you could see grown people, just as many grown women doing a bad job of being parents. So I don't really think teen pregnancy, I don't promote it. I don't think teens should be pregnant and have kids, because it is hard, but I don't promote it. But I don't shame the people that are already pregnant. Um, I do think it should be prevented, and I do think people should try to prevent it, but I don't think people should talk negatively about the people that go through it. And I've taken up all of this video on those questions, so I will do another video about how teen pregnancy has affected my life, and I hope whoever sent me these questions has answered them, and I hope that whoever watched this can get some information from this, or feels that I helped them. So I will do a personal video after this, so stay tuned for that. Okay, bye YouTube.